Hey y'all, good morning. I'm back. I'm Coach Veronica Marie. I'm here to help you live a healthier and happier life. And I'm gonna do that a little bit differently today because I wanna talk about parenting. We're going into the new year. All of us are interested in breaking generational curses. We're all interested in the effective parenting, right? We all wanna feel that we've done what we could for our children. And the truth is that the methods that we use in order to achieve those goals are ineffective, toxic, dysfunctional. We don't know it. Sometimes we do know it. We're just clueless on how to change it, right? And so we end up feeling bothered by children, frustrated, impatient, irritable. You feel unappreciated as a parent. Right? And so there are many things I can talk about with this subject in mind, but there are three things, and I hope I can remember the three things, but there are three things on my mind that you could stop doing today to become a more effective parent. One of the things we didn't learn growing up or in school is that trying to change behavior through punishment is ineffective. Psychology shows it, the studies show it. Punishment is the least effective way to change behavior. Yet, we do it to our children, we do it to our spouses, we do it to our friends, people at work. We have the law of retribution operating in our being, and it's costing us our relationships. So when you punish your children, you don't touch their heart. So you have to rely on their fear of losing, right? And by mistake, you begin to implement all of these programs in their system. You don't mean to do it because you can only do what you know. And you grew up being punished, and so you want to punish them too. But here's what happens. That child grows up fearing that people just want to take from them. They grow up not wanting to desire anything too strongly because people might take it from them. They grow up suppressing their emotions and their excitement because they don't know when it might be taken away. They stop trusting you. And because they stop trusting you, they stop trusting other people. And that brings in its own trouble. Punishment is saying, because you didn't do a certain thing, I'm going to take that thing from you. I'm going to make you suffer. And when you think about it, it's really a mindset that we need to look at. It's kind of like the same way with whipping children. You know, I had this conversation last night, and I've had it many times, and I've experienced it. Parents who want to whip to make the child cry. Oh, you're not gonna cry? You're not gonna cry? And you whip them harder and harder because you want to elicit a reaction, hoping that that reaction will be so strong that they'll stop a particular behavior. But you only could do that for so long because after a while, the body gets immune to pain. Not only does the body get immune to pain, but when it gets immune to pain, it also becomes immune to fear. Right? Because when you're whipping, you have to rely on the fact that they're afraid of the whipping. But once they can no longer feel it the same way, they no longer fear the whipping. Now what you gonna do? You gonna fight them? Some people do. Some people do. Fight their children like people on the street. I know you only can do what you know to do. That's why I'm here telling you that there's a better way, right? At the end of this video, I'm going to offer you some resources to help you in this area. So instead of punishment, what you can work with is consequences, because the universe is governed by consequences, right? Everything, every action has a separate but opposite and equal reaction. Whatever that law is, I incorrectly stated it, but you know what I'm saying. So what you do is, instead of waiting until they do the bad thing, because it's like saying, I don't believe in you. I know you're going to do it. And guess what? If you do it, you're going to get X, Y, Z. And I'm taking that game system. So, man. And then you humiliate yourself because you feel like a bad person. You feel like you're hurting them. And then you have to say things like, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Haven't y'all heard that before? It's toxic. We could stop that. I'm making this video to help you transition into this new year in a different way, to communicate with your children differently, the people that you love differently. The law of retribution never works. And when it does work, if it does work, it's short term, right? So when you're punishing and you're whipping and you're getting out of sorts, you're so contracted, and the child loses respect for you because you look ugly to them. Your energy is ugly. It's unappealing. Eventually they shut down. They don't want to talk to you anymore because now you've caused their heart space to close. The way you change behavior is you change character, and the character lies in the heart of the person. So then, when your punishment doesn't work, you begin to label them. They're this, she's just this, he's just that. Now you're calling the behavior you helped to create a character flaw in them, when all they're doing is protecting themselves. And when a child needs to protect themselves from you, you have a problem. You're creating a situation where you're seen as their enemy when you really do want to be their friend, but you say stuff like, I'm not your friend. And you know what? I get it, because I used to do the same thing. Like, my oldest son is 16. I have a 16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and twin 9-year-olds. They'll be 10 soon. And for the first 5 years of my oldest son's life, I lived like that. And then I realized I hated how it felt. So I started getting books and learning a different way. And now I don't have to whip my children. We talk. We reason. They're very intelligent beings. You strip that from them when you do things like punish and whip, and you don't give them credit for having a heart. Then you can't get in their heart when you need to. You don't know what's going on with them. They won't talk. Then you fuss because they won't talk. You know, so that's one thing. Then you play tit for tat with them. Oh, you couldn't wash those dishes? Well, don't ask me to bring you to the movies. So what you're saying and what you're teaching them is your desires are predicated on other people, or on how well you meet other people's needs. Then they grow into relationships doing the same thing. Either they act like you or they act like the opposite of you, and they have problems. Then when they get old enough, you want them to do things for you. And you know what they say? You ain't do this, I'm not doing that. Then you have problems with them, right? There's lint in the air that's really bothering my nose. You get what I'm saying? You play tit for tat. You try to take things from them because it's the only thing you know, right? But you can stop that. You can sign up for some parent coaching. I offer that. I offer that at a good price so that there's no excuse, right? So you punish, you whip, and you use the scripture, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's so out of context. And tell me, and then you say, oh, they're gonna be fine, I'm fine. I wouldn't say that if I were you. Because if you saw your behavior from the vantage point of somebody who is healthy, you would not be saying that. A lot of us have problems receiving from people, getting help, right? Because our parents took from us and we grew up thinking that people want to take and we don't trust people. I got to do it myself. I do me. I do everything by myself, because you had parents that took from you. They wanted to take. Why would you take something they love from them, right? Because you don't know another way. You think that's the only way. And somebody's going to try to debate me, but I don't even want to debate or discuss it. I'm here for the people who want to do something differently. So going back to consequences, right? You set an expectation. I expect you to do X, Y, and Z by A, B, and C. You got to give them some SMART goals. Make it specific, measurable, achievable, relative, and time sensitive. You don't do all that. You just say, clean that room. And then when you get home, that room's still not clean. You know, and you go on it. That better be clean by the time I get back. You ain't even teaching them how to think. You're teaching them how to live by fear. Then you get mad when they fear the governmental systems and all of this, because you operate like that. The governmental systems is just a reflection of your parenting, right? Fear tactics. So you tell them, I want you to clean your room. And sometimes you're going to have to list it, because we have the habit as parents of going, they know what I was talking about. You're not in their mind, so stop assuming that, because sometimes you assume your romantic partners know what you're talking about, and they don't. So sometimes you have to list it. I want you to make the bed, fold the clothes, blah, blah, blah. You're going to have to do this in the beginning. And yes, it's going to be tedious, and it's going to take discipline from you. See, you don't want to be disciplined in doing this over and over again so that you can program your child. You just want to tell them and have it done. And you say that. I ought to just tell you, and you ought to just do it. What are the things you know to do that you're not doing? You're not eating right. You're not exercising. You're not taking care of your health. You're not doing the things that are necessary for you. Getting out of the relationship you don't belong in. Thinking ways that sabotage you. You need to just do that too. But guess what? You need some help, and so do they. So you set the expectation. I want you to do A, B, C, D, and E. I want this done by 5 o'clock today. I expect that you'll get it done by 5 o'clock today. And if you do, beautiful. We have a beautiful experience. But if you choose not to, see, we don't like to give children choices. We like to tell them, you don't have any wants. I'm the woman in this house. I'm the mother. I'm the father, right? You're so busy on a power trip, you don't even know how to touch your children's heart. I'm trying to help you here. I want A, B, C, D done by 5 o'clock. I expect that you'll get it done. That's implementing belief. I expect that you'll get it done. I believe you can get it done. But if you choose, right, that way they don't feel caught off guard when you're snatching dancing school and piano and their friends from them. This is mindful parenting. It really is. And it takes time. I know it. I live it every day. I've been homeschooling my children since my oldest son was in kindergarten. I'm telling you what I know. I'm not telling you some theories. I'm not telling you something that somebody told me. I'm not giving you this in hope. I'm giving you what I know is true. And so they know they have a choice. And in their minds, they're considering, do I want to do this or don't I? They've made a choice. You've taught them critical thinking. You've taught them that they could trust you, that you're not here to take from them. And they believe in their own ability to create the reality that they want. That's what you do for them when you operate in this way. Then when they don't do it, they just get the consequence. You don't have to yell and scream, curse them out, demean them, take things, feel humiliated, ruin your relationship with them. You don't even have to get mad because they've made a choice. I've often throughout the years told my children, I cannot force you to do anything, and I don't want to force you to do anything. I want you to choose it because it's for your highest good. And if you don't choose it, that's going to be for your highest good too. And just so that we're clear with these consequences, it's A, B, C, D, and E. All right? That's it. You make the choice. This is why I don't have to yell and scream at them. This is why I don't have to whip. I don't know the last time my children were punished because I don't have to punish them. I'm not saying they don't do things that need correction. They need correction and discipline, but they need it in a loving way, in a way that we didn't learn growing up. And so it's going to take some unlearning for you. It's going to take some discipline for you, willingness to show up over and over and over again in this process. And you know, at the end of this, what you're going to have is your child's heart. And that's golden. Because if you have their heart and you can hear what's in it, then you can really help them. And they don't need outside mentors. And they don't need this one and that one to help them. They don't need their friends to tell them because you are it. Right? We're not going to be everything to them. but we can be what their heart needs. Think about yourself when you didn't feel understood by your parents, when they attributed character flaws to behavior that you couldn't control yourself. A lot of times we say with children, they know better. Knowledge is never enough. Again, the person who knows that they have some kind of medical condition and they need to take their medicine, they're not taking the medicine. Knowledge is not enough. It's got to get down into that heart space with conviction. And we got to know how to get to our children's heart, how to keep it, so we can bring up a different kind of generation, and we need help. I have had lots of help, loads of support, and I want to support you. I have a book study that will be coming up soon. It's going to be on effective parenting. It's going to be some practical ways on how to build and improve the relationship you have with your children. If you need one-on-one coaching, I'm here for it. Just inbox me. But all of these things can transition out of your life with effort and with support, right? I remember my daughter said to me one time, she asked me, am I forced to do this? I said, no, you're not forced to do it. You could choose to do it. And I admonish you to choose it. However, if you don't choose it, this is what we got. At the end, she did it. And I asked her, I said, what made you do that? She said, because I started thinking, do I want this or do I want that? That's health. That's relational health, right? Okay, so that's it. If this content helped you, share it. It's not up for debate. If you want to debate me and defend why you whip and beat your children and take things from them, I'm not the person. I'm here for the people who want to go into this next year moving according to the highest version of themselves. I'm here for people who want to come out of parental shame. You know that shame you get when you're treating them bad and you overreacted and now you can't fix it. I'm here for those people. All right? I'll talk to you soon. I'm Coach Veronica Marie. Bye now.